All right. So as far as a little precursor as to where you're at now on the map, you're probably wondering what this map is and why you're here. Um,
Okay.
Essentially, by your own means or reasons, you've come to a neighboring city with ties to the church. A lot of the city is under forbiddance. A lot of the city is political in affiliation to the church and as far as what they do. The church itself is the Church of Palor, nonetheless, to shine a light in this dark region of the world that you guys are in. The part of the reason, just by, I guess, supply and demand by nature, by need, necessity, survival, that this church has up, is lifted up, is that the surrounding area is enshrouded in death. Skeletons manifest themselves. Yeah, you can do that. And reoccurring problems with the undead are a staple here. It's an everyday part of life. And there's always work because of it. So, as new adventurers from neighboring towns or by the border nation, or forests, wherever you may hail, you've come to the city in search for an appointed directive to help combat this, to take care of it, and those are all tools and doings of your own nature and to your character. It's completely up to you. However, what has happened is you've come together to work for a man named Felingar, and Felingar is a priest of Palor, and he has given you guys a job to go out to an abandoned mine they want to reclaim. But the problem is that there's skeletons that reoccur often. What they want you to do is they want you to head out there, clear some of them out, report back to them so that they can send some miners and some other people to try and get something started again. So you've traveled out about a day now, away from the city, and you've done so together. So you've known each other for maybe a day and a half, 2 days, from meeting in the city to there. And as far as the talk between each other, that's all left up to you guys. We'll come right past that and jump straight into the start. You've been fighting in this abandoned mine for the past couple hours, and you've smashed through a multitude of skeletons. They don't seem to be coming back to life, and you're just bashing your way through them. However, upon inspection of one of the rooms, you've noticed a glint of light shining through a rock, which is, on investigation, you're able to determine was an illusion, and that there was a large door behind it that was cracked open with a faint smell of like a punch, various assortment of fruity smells, pineapples and oranges. And you've all opened the door and are seen to a cavernous kind of hallway that at the edge of it has a mysterious, almost sunlight in appearance glow coming from it. And rounding that corner, you've come to a room which is in front of you now that is lush with plants and fruit-bearing trees and bushels of berries, and that fragrance is kind of emanating from here. And with a quick glance around, this is what you see. And at the top of the ceiling of the cave is a false light that's shining down on it. And further ahead, you see into a hallway. That
kind of weird question.
Mm-hmm.
Round about what season would it be?
So it's just gonna be spring.
Okay.
But any normal person can take away that it's odd that there are, especially given the nature of the surrounding area, the savannas and whatnot, lushness like this is definitely not found in most of the normal land. Most of it's arid and affected by the decay. But let alone for it to be in a cave, in a shaft off to the side of this abandoned mine, hidden by an illusion, it's completely thrown you off. And this is where we're going to start at with you guys walking into this room, me describing it. This is what you see. So I'm just going to have you guys one step back. And what would you like to do?
Hmm.
Can we just express what sort of characters we are, so we know rough? Because you said we know what we are. So
yeah. Let's go around. It's a great idea. Let's go around and let's start with you. And if you like, and describe each of yourselves, and maybe something you would have shared with the group as you've known each other for about a day or two.
I'm going to be playing Mexus. I'm a tiefling. I'm quite a young tiefling. I'm a scribe, but I'm a warlock. I'm a little bit shy when it comes to people talking to me. I can have bursts of confidence, shall we say. Next person.
I suppose I could go next. So I'm playing Kruxbilzira, a short little Svirfneblin. That's a deep gnome. This short little girl with gray hair, or white hair, gray skin, white eyes. She's a bit of she's a bit strange in some ways. She is very intrigued by mystery at any turn, like any sign that there could be some sort of mystery, especially for a thing like this. And she's intrigued, but all the while, she is paranoid that everyone else is trying to figure out her own secrets, which is very obvious on her face whenever, like, even if you're just saying hello, she'll look paranoid for even a split second. And there are times when she seems to just be muttering to herself about like about various spells. Especially though, um muttering about raising the dead, quote unquote, in a way that is not a crime against morality.
Mm.
And she's got a voice that's a bit like this. So yeah, that's who I'm playing.
All right. And as for our tiefling, was it?
Yep.
That is representation of their artwork.
Like him.
Oh, I'm just saving the somewhat better version of the art I have.
Oh, don't worry too much.
Yeah, don't feel self-conscious about it. There's nothing to it.
Yeah. No, I wanna get it saved.
What about our dragonborn friend? Azure? Or DC?
Oh, I'm playing Azure Minas or Azure Midas, Dragonborn fighter. He is black with red eyes. Doesn't talk that much. When he does, it's usually very pertinent. Uh, he's wearing chainmail armor, carrying a shield and a long sword.
All right.
Okay. So Edwellian is a person is a sort of interesting knight like individual. Travels around wearing armor sort of wreathed with vines that kind of twitch and move with kind of their own control, I guess.
Mhm.
Basically, her armor seems to be, I guess, alive, kind of its own entity. Carries a halberd with a sort of normal head that sort of seems to have grown a sapling out for the haft of it. And her general appearance sort of changes with the seasons. So right now it would be like generally normal with sort of maybe little bits of like new growth buds extending, kind of pointing out from the hair.
All right, thank you.
I
I
have
really like that.
I have image, but it's
No, I can picture it with that picture that you've given us.
That's really pretty. I
Thank
really
you.
like it.
Thank you. I need to work on that more. Finish coloring it.
All right, and yeah, and with that, I think that brings us around to what would you
So,
guys like to
sort
do?
of, I should actually describe character. Is generally a little bit secretive, if cheerful and mostly talkative and pleasant to be around.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so kind of shy.
Uh, yeah. Maybe hiding something.
Mhm.
Okay. Our travels, has anyone stepped up in a leadership role?
I'm gonna say for me, definitely not. Like, Crucible has definitely like stayed as far away from leadership as she can. In fact,
That's it. I'm a bumbling idiot. But yeah, no,
I'd
go for
say
it.
Adwellian might, but is also sort of a kind of person who kind of lets everyone do their own thing, with like a
It's
couple of
okay.
exceptions.
There are times when we're gonna need a leadership role within a party,
Mhm.
and we don't do it now. If we'd been together a couple of days, we would have done it. But okay, then. So I vote Edwillian as leader.
Okay.
So I will listen to you a bit more than I would normally. So we
All
step
right.
into this room and it smells of the fruit.
Yes,
Uh,
Hmm.
very off, extremely lush garden.
DM, is the natural light source from a crystal, or is it actually like an energy source?
Yeah, it appears to be coming from the rocks in the ceiling.
Um.
I'm going to walk a little bit further into the center of the actual cavern, so to about there, and I'm just going to look up to see if I get any better picture of what actually the light source is.
Okay. Um, it appears as though the light is shining through the rocks and coming from them, much like the hidden door. Before the hidden door, there was an illusion that had light piercing through the rock.
I'm just going to be just like looking up, and I'm just going to be looking around. I'm just going to have a little basic see what's actually around the area of where Mexis is standing right now.
All right, what's everybody else doing?
I'm gonna move up and take a closer look at the plants.
Okay.
Uh. Could I could I do that more as sort of a survival than a?
I'm just gonna
Okay.
kind of get what you guys are all doing kind of at the
Yeah,
same time.
I'm gonna investigate the plants.
Crucible is.
See,
Oh, sorry.
see what I think of them, basically.
I'm checking to see if there's anything in them.
Mm-hmm.
any one in them.
Crucible is just going to sort of stand under this tree and stare up at it. It's kind of scratching her chin, just wide-eyed.
All right. So for all of you, as you kind of take to looking at these plants, and for some of you as you get kind of close to them, you immediately notice something horrid, something off. The most of the trees are actually shaped in such a way that they look like a humanoid figure, with their face screaming out in pains of anguish as if it's been captured and instilled into wood. And red, almost blood-like sap is running from their orifices very slowly, like sap does. And from their fingertips bears fruit. The bushes and whatnot seem to kind of home towards you like a magnetism almost. And any tree that you get close to, its branches and leaves gravitate towards you slowly, but they are moving towards you. It's not enough to entrap you or endanger you immediately. You're easily able to avoid it. But this horrific image of that does seep into your mind. The bushes themselves, upon closer look as though, those twigs and those branches on a bush, how small they are. They are more mimicry of and akin to veins, as they pulsate and appear to be pumping something through them to the fruits that they bear. Every tree in here seems more vibrantly alive, and every plant does.
Do you guys see what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
Or am I just seeing things?
No, this is not normal.
Should we
Bloody
get a move?
spooky.
I don't think we should be in here. Do you?
I think it's a bit bloody spooky, don't you?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The trees are people, and I'm going to slightly move over to here.
Mm-hmm.
Crucible kind of takes out a piece of parchment from her pack, like takes a step over to here, and is actually going to start kind of sketching the tree that she was looking at.
I don't think we have time to draw this.
It's so interesting. I mean, it's
Um,
horrible, but it's interesting.
It might be interesting, but what if you turn into one?
Oh, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Don't you worry.
Okay. Okay. Don't know what to say.
I'm gonna.
I'm just going to hold a hand.
Concern.
To send an Eldritch Blast at anything that not you guys that moves.
Absolute concern.
It's going to get an Eldritch Blast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna sort of with my right hand, I'm gonna sort of pull my halberd from where it's sort of slung over the shoulder on a strap, and with the other hand, I'm gonna lift my holy symbol, which is an amulet. It's a piece of petrified wood on a chain, and just whisper to it a little bit, and then basically get ready for a fight.
Begin to pray. Okay.
Do not pray, just like very, very quickly.
Mm-hmm. And Azur? Or-
Trying to decide if I should do divine sense.
What'd you like to do, Azur? DC, I believe.
Sorry? What was the question?
What would you like to do?
Right now I'm drawing my longsword and I am holding my action because I don't know what's going on in here.
All right. So these things take, you guys sit here for about a half a second before the silence. Well, it's not really silence, is it? We've got someone holding a spell ready. We've got a person scribbling down on parchment, and we have another person saying a small bit of words into there before as they ready themselves. And the unsheathing of your sword. So added to that noise, you hear the loud thud of a door swing open, followed by audible voices, and very loud footsteps. One of them sounds to be like almost like heels, boot heels, and they become stomping from this direction in the hallway, and it echoes out, and you hear
Which direction?
up here,
That's what the T do.
and
Okay.
it echoes down, and you hear, Cass, baby, please don't do this to me. Don't leave me now. I can do what you need me to do. I can make you feel good. I promise I will find it. It's not, I don't have you know me, and I don't have shortcomings like that. It's just, and the stopping comes to a halt as they stop here, and you see what appears to be an almost 14th century dressed young man wearing like a blouse and leather jacket with higher boot heels and a very
Just how high are these boot heels?
not very high, but they're noticeable that they are that kind of centuries boots,
Gotcha.
like a witch hunter or something, and he's got long black hair that's rather buoyant and volumish, and a very slender, beautiful face. And behind him comes shackling in this catches you in a bit of awe, but in the horror sense. A man of nothing but bone. He appears to be wearing some ornate jewelry. Some of his bones are clasped in some kind of metal, nefarious, exquisite metals. He has a few engravings here and there on his bones that are glowing runes, and he has gems for eyes, as well as a few gems in his forehead, in a circlet that rests on top of those. And he's shaking his hands out, jutting them forward, the jewelry on his wrist shambling, as he says, please don't leave me. Look, I can do the thing with my beamer. I pop it out. It's great. You loved it last time. I can please you, baby. Don't leave. Please don't leave me.
As the thing is, because I said I was going to hold the spell, and if I saw anything move,
You
I was going to find Eldritch Blast.
you do have the option to do that.
I'm going to have to. I said I'll do it. So,
Well, your reaction comes up, and then you can choose to do it or not, or you can choose to use your movement.
Actually, okay, then I'm going to move back a little bit. I'm going to see them, and I'm going to be like, company, and I'm going to move probably to about there. Not much
All right.
back, but
Yeah, you
Up
quickly
there,
shuffle
there.
back, and everybody else, you can see this up ahead, and you hear this.
Did I move up to there?
You can, yes.
So real quick, this is a like kind of rookie face of this fool, right? Like,
Yeah, it's about 2.5 feet. You'd have to crouch to hide behind it.
okay.
Oh, okay. I thought that was okay.
There's a little ramp here. It's a little ramp.
Crucible, like hearing that there's someone and hearing those voices, kind of just like dives over here and presses herself against the rookie face.
Would oh my god, words. Would
Crucible.
Krookspill have to crouch?
She's 3'4", so
Okay.
she's
So yeah, but not a lot.
A bit of a huddle, yeah.
yeah. And she's just straight up pressing herself against it and trying to hide.
All right. So Zur and you guys step aside too.
Yeah, I'll join them.
All right. And you hear, look, you're just not satisfying me like you used to. I know we dropped it, but
Feel like
I'm going to my mom's. I can't deal with this. It's just nothing in it for me anymore. Baby, come on, don't say that. You know it's not true. You mean the world to me. You're like the only being that I actually care about. I can't do this. I have to go.
I think Edwellian is like definitely kneeling behind the ridge. The issue is helmet has like basically like deer antlers on it, which I think are not all the way hidden.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to move over here and I'm going to crouch as well. My tail almost covering my eyes.
All right. And
Like an extra high, extra stealth.
Similarly, a lot of the vines on my armor are kind of gonna like retract in a little bit.
yep. And from those of you, these two that can still kind of see what's going on, the male that appears that is not a skeleton, that is leaving, snaps his fingers and two bags appear, and he grabs them and walks away. One of them rolling behind him, and
God, this
And
Lich's love
stops.
life is horrible.
and he
Can
goes, Cass, baby, no, and he
Can
falls to
I-
his knees.
Do a divine sense.
You can do a divine sense.
I'm gonna do a divine sense.
All right, you drop a divine sense, and within 60 feet of you,
Yeah.
the things that appear to be plants are undead, and the ground that you're standing on is unhollow for as far as you can tell.
Oh.
And another door opens and slams, and he's just, why? And he's just slunched over on his
Is the
knees.
bear in range? No.
See, when I read the name of this one shot, reading the thing, I'm wondering now even more if this was intentional.
So you
The
figured
fact
it
that
out.
Phylactery looked like phallus. Was that
It's the
indeed
love.
intentional?
You know the
It's the
meme?
love,
You know the
motherfucker.
meme with the two astronauts looking at the Earth? And he's one of them's got a gun.
Always has been.
It always has been, and I shoot you.